We need to free each other's hearts.
Okay, Eddington, A24 film, directed by Ari Aster, is coming out on the 18th of July.
I'm just really interested to see him move away from horror as well, because this very much is being billed as a modern Western and like, you know, a satire and a thriller. And he's obviously dipped into satire with Beau Is Afraid, but this looks fascinating. And the fact that it's set during COVID, that's really, I wonder why he did that. It's
got some great actors in it as well.
And I find it interesting that he's also kind of leaning more into like action.
Yeah.
He's in that teaser, but I'm really interested to see how he does it.
2 hours and 25 minutes.
So it's long.
And it's got 5.7 out of 10 on IMDb. That's kind of weird.
Coming out of Cannes, I think people did say it was like divisive.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
It was definitely divisive, but then nothing negative. Like it was, people came out of it, you know, feeling quite a lot. But they said elements of it are going to divide people, and it won't be for everyone, which is the same with a lot of his films.
That's just every good film, really. I think it's just there's always divisive elements that, you know, turn people away or excite people. But
no, and it's cool to see him reteaming with Joaquin Phoenix again.
Yeah, and the cinematographer is Darius Khondji. How fucking cool is that?
Oh, yeah, so Uncut Gems.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Funny. That's so mad.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That's pretty cool, man. Yeah, so in terms of, you know, everything else he's done, so Hereditary in particular, I enjoyed it. I think some moments in it are astounding, spectacular, just in terms of horror. The moments with, a lot of moments with Toni Collette's character are just brilliant, just in terms of acting, just in terms of horror. He's just got a particular eye for knowing how to get under your skin. Like, he's just got a brilliant way and a very, very distinct way of doing things. So what did you think of Hereditary?
I did like it, but the ending really lost me.
Yeah, that's one thing, yeah.
When it went down the really supernatural route, because I liked how at the beginning you're just watching this mother like grieve, and she has a fucked up relationship. So she has a fucked up relationship with her whole family, and that was enough for me. And they obviously don't really explain like all the weird shit that's happening, like when the son's at school, he bashed his head against the desk. But when it came to the end and they're like, okay, so now you must sacrifice yourself to this cult.
It was so on the nose.
It lost me.
This is so much exposition.
It didn't ruin the film at all, but it was a weak ending, and that's why I don't go back to it as often as his other films.
It almost felt like this was kind of his first big film that he felt like he had to, just for like the dumb people in the audience, like he had to just spell everything out to you at the end, just so that everyone was clear what was going on, like the mythology behind it, you know, everyone was kept in the loop, but it just kind of takes away from the experience of it. But
then it's interesting how the concept of mythology works so well within Midsommar, which like he's gone on a journey with, because I've always been like more Midsommar than Hereditary. You took quite a while to come around to Midsommar, didn't you?
Interesting, So it was weird, Midsommar. I had a very weird experience. I suppose it just goes to show it depends on your mood and stuff like that. I really, really, really disliked Midsommar the first time I watched it. I thought it was really poor. I thought it was really, really overly long. Just long shots of people walking and just nothing really happening. I literally said to you, I was like, this is probably one of the most boring films I've seen ever. Although I loved the opening. I think the opening of Midsommar is probably one of the best openings ever. Like he's really good at openings. Just like the first act, I think he really nails it, and he does it just brilliantly with Midsommar. And then just the rest of it, it was just overly long and just, you know, kind of pretentious and all that stuff. And then I came back to it, I think like a year and a half later, and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was so well done. I thought it's like one of the best horror films ever. I love how it's set in, like most of it's set in the day. It's not kind of like manipulative. It's not like one of those cliche, like, oh, we're set in the dark, it's trying to scare you. I think it really gets under your skin, and I think it's so disturbing, you know, that some of the imagery behind it. And again, it's just all of the good elements of Hereditary just doubled in Midsommar. You know, he really had the opportunity in Midsommar to really explore, you know, his style more, I think, you know, more true to him, I think.
And what I like about his style is that, you know, it is very much horror, but it's so subtle in the way in which it gets under your skin.
Yeah.
He builds up this atmosphere that is slowly like out coming to get you. It's creepy up on you. That's why I fucking love Midsommar.
Yeah.
Think about it. They're in the most idyllic location. They're in this beautiful like little Swedish village. But you just know something is wrong.
You do, yeah.
You feel absolutely terrified and nothing has happened.
And it doesn't...
He's so good at atmosphere, man. That's the key thing.
He doesn't point to it. He doesn't say... There's not a lot of music saying like, look, this is something really bad is going to happen. It just lets you sit in the comfortableness of it. And I suppose in the first time watching it, I didn't get that. I was just like, oh, there's nothing to it. But it was really building up in the momentum of it. And I actually think it's an extremely entertaining film. And now I watch it and I'm like, it didn't feel like the runtime. I think it's like over 2 hours.
Oh, God, no. Absolutely not.
So yeah, it just goes to show it was a really weird reaction. I was like, holy shit, whatever film I watched like a year and a half ago was not this. Like it was just a totally different experience. So yeah, that was great. I actually would say I would give Midsommar a 10 out of 10. And I've been recently giving a lot of films 10 out of 10. I actually am like pretty mean with my ratings, but we've just been talking about excellent films. And then so yeah, it goes from that, and then it goes to Beau Is Afraid.
And Beau Is Afraid, it's kind of the opposite for me. I haven't come around to it yet. I need to see it again.
But you told me, so you went to the cinema and you watched it, didn't you? Yeah. And your initial reaction, what was it?
And this is probably what he wanted me to feel. What the fuck? I just didn't really connect with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my initial reaction.
Yeah.
And I just kind of felt, again, this is just still going off my first viewing. I felt like the third act was a little jumbled, and maybe parts of it went over my head. Like the whole animated segment, which is so beautiful. Oh my God, if you look at that scene as its own little short film, like holy shit. But it felt like the substance just wasn't there for me, or I couldn't find the substance.
Right.
It's like, why is he traveling through this village? Why does he suddenly have 3 sons next to him?
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't hitting for me, but that's kind of a personal thing.
So are you interested in watching it again?
I know, I definitely am. Because maybe it'll be like a Midsommar situation where it suddenly clicks for me. But the one thing I do agree with you on is that like the first half is just so fantastic.
Yeah.
Maybe his best work.
His first half is insanely entertaining. You got to give it that. Like it's just, I think I totally understand why people don't like Beau Is Afraid. And you actually put me off it. You were like, oh yeah, no, I really didn't like it. So I was like, well, I'm not gonna watch it in the cinema. And then I watched it months after, and I was pretty damn blown away by it. It's actually one of my favorite movies, Beau Is Afraid, which is really bizarre to say because it just didn't intrigue me, and I think the poster of it is really not good. I don't think it was marketed very well. I mean, it's a difficult film to market.
It lost a lot of money.
Yeah,
and that's also
a
a case of like it being just after the pandemic, but it's not a very accessible film.
No, not
I
at all.
will say that.
Like I completely understand why.
Even though your Midsommar and Hereditary are quite subversive, they are very marketable.
Yeah,
absolutely, and that not even to their detriment. But Beau Is Afraid. What the fuck do you market it as? It is kind of like made to appeal to like film bros,
that's just why I love it.
But it was fantastic, especially like the at the beginning where all the fucking like homeless people and crack addicts go to his apartment. He's like, my friend, give me the 5 cents. I called the police. Such a great moment. Man.
It's just so jam packed with all these anxiety inducing moments that are just this poor character is just. You just feel so sorry for the Beau character, and he's just so subjected to just the most dire of situations, the most horrific people, the most terrible neighborhood. He lives in the worst, shitty, horrible apartment, and there's just if you don't mind me just gushing about it for a while. It's a hard film to describe. And again, I totally get why people didn't like it. There's no plot, there's no narrative, there's no substance. I think when you watch it again, I would advise you to try to stop figuring it out. It's not designed to be figured out. It's not one of those films. It's not kind of like a Charlie Kaufman film where it's like, oh, all of this stuff is surrealist.
But it links.
It all clicks together, and you're like, this makes sense.
And that's probably why I didn't like vibe with the third act.
Yeah, because it's like, what the fuck is going on?
But Did you not come away from it thinking, God, like Ari, have you ever like had a hug? A lot of like mummy issues.
No, man. Yeah.
Did you not find that?
That's a big
that
part
was
of
the
it.
thing I
Obviously,
got.
just a bad, the mum character. A lot of people say, what's he trying to say about
and
this?
like. This has become a very X-rated podcast, but we've got to talk about the giant penis. The literal giant penis.
The giant penis is pretty out there.
That?
The giant penis is pretty fucking out there. I'll give you that. But this is the thing, though, Saul, and I think a lot of people, when they watch it with a certain, perspective, it might click into place more for them. When you consider it, and this is how the film is designed, this is essentially what it is. It's just a 3-hour long, just kind of... what would you say, odyssey of just a complete existential nightmare. It's just a series of the most anxiety-inducing things that could possibly happen to you. Situations that the main character is subjected to. And it's like you consider it as if when you're dreaming, right? Things don't make sense.
The lore is always like really hard to follow.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
I
messy.
definitely find that with my dreams.
Yeah, exactly.
I go into them on this podcast, but like, some crazy shit.
There's some crazy shit happens, right? Maybe you probably dreamt about a huge dick before in it.
I can't say I have. But
maybe in one of your wet dreams. No, I'm just kidding. No, but like it's designed to be like that. It's designed to be like a dream where nothing makes sense. Everything is just bizarre. All this shit, like you've got these characters walking around in the background, like doing all these crazy shit. And
like the what was it? Was he the war veteran who lives with?
Yeah,
like,
the war
Nathan Lane
veteran.
and
When he's sat on
office?
the garden chair, and you can there's just this big wide shot that's like 2 minutes long, and there's just all these crazy shit going on in the background. You're just sitting there experiencing it, and it's like being subjected to like a psychedelic drug watching it. It's so weird. Like when you really subject yourself to the movie. And again, it comes down to sense of humor as well, because I think I personally think it's a hilarious film. Like I think it's designed.
I
to
got
be
that
hilarious.
in the first half. Definitely more after I thought about it, because when I first saw it, I was I liked the first half, but I wasn't thinking this is like even black comedy. I was just trying to figure it out. That's the thing.
Absolutely.
But no, like the first half, there's some great like dark comedy.
Maybe it's similar to what you said about Tenet, where it's like, don't try to figure it out.
Feel it.
Feel it, experiencing it. But again, it's extensive. It's 3 hours long. It's a lot to ask for viewers. And Ari Aster did say that himself, that the film is the closest to representing what he loves about cinema in this film. Like it's close to his personality, it's close to his sense of humor, all of that stuff. It really spoke to him. He absolutely loves it.
And that's amazing. I mean, it's a miracle that it was made, really.
It's unbelievable.
Like, given how like outlandish it is, the fact that like a studio actually came to him and said, right, we're going to give you like money.
I think that alone, just experiencing that alone, just experiencing the fact that even exists is just fun, because it's just like, without a doubt, like, I don't even know what they were fucking thinking making it. Like, fair play. They obviously just said, look, Ari, do your thing.
Like, Ari, are you okay? What were you thinking whilst writing this?
Like, you know what? Go ahead, do it. We'll see. Yeah. And A24 has always been pretty lenient when it comes to that stuff, giving creators, it's probably the best studio out there for that sort of stuff.
Absolutely. But, I mean, do you think Eddington seems like it's in that same vein? I mean, I know we can't tell from, like, however long that teaser was, but...
I think whatever it is, it's going to be interesting, and that's something I always love about him. Yeah. It's always unique and distinct, and something that like it's Emma Stone, for God's sake. You got Austin Butler, Joaquin Phoenix again, Pedro Pascal. Cast. You've got so many good people, and I think he always just does something that's it's something that I love about him. He always does something that is just so. I mean, to be fair, this is arguable because like Midsommar, you could say, is very similar to what's that damn film?
Wicker Man,
yeah. Like there's similarities.
Not the Nicolas Cage one, the good one.
You didn't like the Nicolas Cage?
No, I mean, but that's amazing for like different reasons. But
not the bees.
Step away from the bike.
We just punches that.
Take
woman
your stupid mask. We'll talk about that at some point. We will.
Yeah.
But and I was actually going to say, do you think this has a bigger budget? Because right now, I mean, they haven't released it, but It looks like because of the action, it looks like maybe they gave him a bit more money.
Do you think? I think the budget's probably a little bit less than Beau Is Afraid.
Really? I just think because it seems like there are some like set pieces. I mean,
Yeah.
those are quite surrealist, but
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've just got a feeling. It didn't strike me as something that was like big money, but
bigger.
yeah. I do just have a feeling that after the flop that was Beau Is Afraid, they're definitely cutting down the budget for him, which is is a bit of a shame, but he could use it to his advantage.
Well, I guess that's what A24's been doing because Beau Is Afraid lost quite a bit of money. They're now they're not shying away from their indie roots, but they're now doing stuff that is
they're opening up.
Yeah, I wouldn't say like particularly mainstream, but more mainstream than they have been in the past.
Yeah,
like Warfare, which I haven't seen, but that's like still very like
Civil War as well.
Sorry?
Did he?
Yeah, Civil War, that's right. Which is still, very like artsy and quite subversive, but you can definitely tell A24 are thinking, okay, we need to do stuff that's slightly more mainstream,
Yeah,
so
a
we have
little
the
bit more
money to
accessible.
make more, like Beau Is Afraid.
Yeah, and I think that's fair enough.
Which is completely understandable.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair enough.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.